Hi guys, welcome to my channel and Happy New Year! This is my first video of 2022 and yeah, I just really hope that this year is going to bring more calm, more happiness to our lives and significantly less stress. Who knows, maybe this will be the year that the pandemic will finally be declared over. We don't know, but we can only hope. I hope you all had a great Christmas. I hope you all had a lovely holiday, and whatever you did, I hope that you've been filled with lots of love and blessings and food, because food is life. And anyway, in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you some of my personal goals for 2022. I don't do the whole New Year's resolution thing, but I do like to set myself some goals like personal growth and things like that. It's also my birthday this week. So the fact that my birthday is right at the beginning of the year kind of helps me to say, okay, so in this year of my life, I want to do this. It's not just like 2022. It's the year of my, the 28th year of my life. And this is what I have set out for myself to work towards. It's not like I'm going to start a diet or I'm going to change this big thing or do this every day. I try to go for less specific things and more open, general ideas, general goals to reach for. I find that it puts a bit less pressure and it gives me more motivation to see them through. So without further ado, I am going to share this list with you. Actually, there is further ado. Just want to make a note, I'm sure you can tell, this is a very high res, very beautiful camera. My wonderful husband has gifted me a beautiful new camera so that I can make better videos for you guys and take even better photos. So a big thank you to him. He is my #1 supporter and the best thing I could have ever asked for. So thank you to him. And now I'll get straight into the video. So with regard to the general, I think I probably set myself this goal like every year and eventually it sort of fades out. So like the health, the overall well-being sort of goals. I do aim to drink more water because sometimes I forget and I don't always drink as much as I should. Using a bottle helps a lot with that, but sometimes I forget to fill it up or I just don't drink. So I definitely would like to drink more water this year. I definitely want to get more fresh air. I have basically become a hermit throughout this pandemic. Since I had Ben, I'm a stay-at-home mom now. I work from home. The pandemic really doesn't encourage me to go anywhere, and I'm obviously very limited with things that I can do. So I've become so much less sociable than I already was, and it's ended up affecting me because I just don't get out of the house. I don't get fresh air enough, and we're like a few minutes walk away from a beautiful valley, so I would like to do that more often. We do tend to go on weekends. For anyone who follows me on Instagram, I often post stories when we go on our family walks, but I need to make it a point to get more fresh air and more time in nature for myself and for Ben. Super beneficial, and I just really need to get out more. And also exercise. I need to exercise more. My exercise is Ben. Being a mom is like hard work, so that's already a lot of exercise. But I do miss being fit, and my body is slowly starting to just crash and burn. I'm falling to pieces. I've got injuries everywhere. My wrist is a mess. My shoulders are like a disaster. And part of the reason for that is because I am no longer working out. I used to train really well up until we got married, and then kind of took a step back and never got back into it because life is hard when you're like completely independent, and things tend to take over. But I do want to get back into fitness. I'm not saying I'm gonna get a gym membership. I can't anyway right now, but I do want to try and at least do something every day. When I got the 6-week postpartum go ahead to start training, I had started doing 100 squats a day. I had set myself that goal. I started with 50, then I moved up to 100, and it was making such a difference. I would use Ben as my weight and I'd hold him like that and do weights. I think you've seen in some of my videos. But then I got this wrist injury. I basically have something called categorised tenosynovitis, and I had a sprained ligament on top of that. And when that happened, it just set me back completely, and I'll go into this because it set me back with a lot of things, unfortunately. I was doing really well. I was really enjoying getting into some kind of exercise routine again, and I completely stopped. So I really wanted to try and get into that. I need to strengthen my shoulders, I need to strengthen my whole body, and I want to feel good about myself again. I've gone back to my pre-pregnancy weight and size now approximately, but I'm still really soft and very what's the word, like, I don't know, I'm just like cotton. I'm no longer firm where I used to be, so I want to work on you know, toughening myself up a little bit and strengthening myself as well. And so with regard to like the physical aspect of my health, I would think that those are the three things that I really want to work towards this year. So more water, more fresh air, and more exercise. With regard to self-care, which is a huge thing, something that I really like to talk about, it's ironic because I've obviously neglected a lot of my own self-care because Ben became my priority, and I stopped giving myself that, you know, I stopped making myself a priority. And you need to fill your own cup. You can't be a good parent, a good person, a good employee, a good friend if you don't take care of yourself first. I really think this is so important, and as much as I do think it's important, I have neglected it a lot in myself. So that's definitely something that I want to work towards. And within the self-care category, I would say that I will keep going to therapy because it is so important for my mental health. It really keeps me going, and it's helped me to gain control over my OCD to a certain extent, and my anxiety, my perfectionism, so many things. So therapy is something that I need to keep doing. Journaling goes along with that. I need to journal my thoughts. I really find it helpful to vent that way, and so I think that that's really important for myself, and I don't do it enough, so I need to get back into it. Pampering myself, just small things like doing my nails. I miss doing my nails. I miss, you know, just having some time to myself, doing a face mask, having some time alone, going somewhere alone. Ben is getting a little bit more independent now, and he's slowly starting to accept being with other people rather than just myself. And so even if someone was here with Ben, we started doing this. I can just get something done by myself, for myself, without having to worry about him. So, you know, even if it is running an errand or whatever, just doing it by myself, for myself, just makes such a big difference. And I really encourage anyone else, who, especially if you're a new parent, to make time for yourself and to make yourself a priority as well. Next item on the list, like the next umbrella, is good habits. I was getting into some really good habits, especially as a mom. I didn't think that, I thought that I would be less organized with certain things as a mom, but actually it worked out the other way. But again, when I got this injury, every good habit that I was finally getting into the rhythm of, I just completely discarded. I couldn't do anything. I wasn't cooking. I couldn't clean. I literally couldn't do like anything because my thumb won't move. Like, it's currently stuck like this, which is not fun and not easy, and it's very painful. I can't move my wrist much. So that really set me back with everything. But I really want to get back into the good habits that I was working on, because they make life so much better. And I'll tell you what these habits are. One of them is meal planning. Meal planning is something that I've done from right when we moved in, when we got married. meal planning and meal prepping. It just makes life so much easier. It helps you to be healthier, it helps you to save money and waste less food, and you just know what you're eating, you know what you're going to do. There's not like the question of what are we going to eat today, what are we going to get tomorrow, what do we need to buy. We work on our shopping list every weekend, we prepare a meal plan and we buy according to what we're going to eat, and it just makes life so much easier, and you automatically, you know, you just end up being healthier and more in control, because after a long day, let's face it, you just kind of want chicken nuggets and chips, you know. So this helps you to prevent that, and it helps you to keep track of what you're eating as well, and like I said, so many other benefits. Another one is like just being organized, cleaning, sorting things out, running errands. Like I had a really good system, doing certain things first thing in the morning, doing certain things last thing at night. I really feel like your day starts depending on how you ended the previous day, and this is something that I've really become, like I've started neglecting a lot, and it makes such a big difference, because you cannot start a clear day if you leave things from the night before. So these are just, again, habits that I want to get back into. They make life so much better, so much easier, and they help you have a clear, fresh mind, clear, fresh home. If you are interested in any of these things, I would love to do a video about this, so let me know if you'd be interested about those specifically. And other habits, basically better time management, more organization, meal planning, and using my phone less. This is something that I am really desperately trying to do. I have noticed that it's so easy to take over your life, and I find myself, like I'll be speaking to someone and I've got Facebook or Instagram or whatever open, and I'm just scrolling without even looking at my phone. How unhealthy is that? So we are trying to implement a no phone at the table rule, just because it's so easy. Like you get a notification, then you get distracted, then you open and see what's going on, and you're like, oh, and you just scroll, and it's not healthy. It's damaging for relationships, it's damaging your eyes, your brain, everything. So and even more importantly, I don't want Ben to see me always on my phone. I don't want to be that kind of person. I don't want to encourage him to be that kind of person. It's not healthy. They are great, they are super useful. I do use my phone for work as well, so obviously I need to use it, but I want to be more present. I want to be in the moment more, and social media, as good as it can be, it can also be very, very addictive when it comes to stuff like this. So that is definitely something that I would like to try and work towards this year. And the last category of things that I would like to really work on for myself this year is basically within the personal growth development. I have been working very hard for the past couple of years on letting go of perfectionism, and I've mentioned this in, I think, one of my videos before, and this is something I work very hard on with my therapist. I have OCD and I am a perfectionist, and those together make for a very stressful life, and having a baby, I will let you know, makes it very hard to be a perfectionist, because nothing goes to plan. So I have been working very hard on that, and so I want to keep working on that, but there are some other things that I would really like to push myself to work towards this year. One of them is pushing myself, just, you know, putting myself out there. In Maltese we have an expression, tamel witchek, and I really don't know how to do that. I've never been the kind of person who just puts myself out there and says like, hey, listen, this is what I do, I'm good at this, I am capable, you know, and just believing in myself and putting myself out there, because I know that I am capable of so much, but I hold myself back, and I need to be better at that. I owe myself more. I owe it to Ben, I owe it to Chris. You know, as a family, I think it's important that I do this for myself. So that is something I really want to work on. I also want to work on being more creative and doing something with my ideas. I have 1,000 ideas and I just don't do anything with them. I let them die out. Part of this is because I'm such a perfectionist. Like, I need things to be just right, and then I keep waiting until they're going to be just right, and then the time is gone, it's too late, it doesn't make sense anymore, it's no longer relevant, whatever. So I just need to let go, and I need to, again, push myself, like they all, obviously, you know how it is, they all go hand in hand. But I do want to channel more of my creativity and use it to its full potential. And the last item on this list is very much about boundaries and self-respect, I find. I was never good at standing up for myself. I was never good at setting boundaries, and more so respecting those boundaries. And so I just kind of put my own needs on the back burner, and that's so unhealthy, and I don't want to live like that anymore, because I notice how much harder it's actually making my life. I'm a people pleaser by nature, and there have been many circumstances, especially in this past year, I find, where my lack of ability to set boundaries and to respect my own boundaries has caused me so much stress and so much upset, and I don't deserve that. I deserve to respect myself. Everyone deserves to respect themselves and their own wishes. And this is something that, especially as a mom, I've found that I've become a little bit better at, but I still hesitate so much. So setting boundaries, being clear about my boundaries, and not taking no for an answer, basically. And if there is anyone out there who is not going to respect me as a woman, as a person, as a mom, as a wife, whatever, not as a wife, Chris always respects my boundaries, he's the best. But you know, if people don't respect my boundaries, I don't have place for that. They are not welcome. You know, I'm not a very hard-headed person. I tend to bend over backwards just to make other people happy, and I'm not going to do that anymore, or at least I am going to try very hard not to do that anymore. It's very difficult. It takes a lot of mental energy for me to be able to do this, and I'm sure that many of you relate to this as well. So let 2022 be the year that we respect ourselves, that we love ourselves, we accept ourselves and everything there is, you know, within that whole thing. I'm very good with words. I just think that it's so important, and there's no better time than now, to sound very cheesy. So if you are looking for inspiration, if you are looking for ways to make your life better or whatever, especially I find that this is really relevant for new moms, new parents in general, but new moms, you can relate. Let this be the year. Let this be the year that we take care of ourselves, so that we can teach our children what they need to do in the future, so that they won't be, like us. I find that this, like, my generation struggles a lot with these things. So I don't know what it is. I don't know why that happens. I'm sure that the life that we live, the world that we live in nowadays, has contributed to that a lot. And so let's fight back. Let us put ourselves first. Let us show the future generation what it means to love yourself. And that is the end of my list. I'm sure there are some other things that I've forgotten, but those are the main ones, the ones that I really want to work towards. Let me know what your goals are for this year, or New Year's resolutions, if you do that kind of thing. Let me know if you like any of my ideas and if you'll be trying them out as well. I really encourage everyone to just, whatever it is, go for it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Remind yourself that. I know I am trying. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just try to let go and do whatever it is that makes you happy. Life kind of sucks for the most part, but if we try to make it better for ourselves, then that's the best thing we can do. So with that, I'm going to say that this is the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you did, and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and all that jazz. And I will see you in my next video. Until next time, bye.